Money it works. 4, 5, yeah. Well, good evening and welcome to the YouTube channel, How to Get an 800 Credit Score, LLC. And my name is Lyndon. Thank you for joining us tonight. And the reason for the live stream tonight is I want to touch base with a lot of you because I have not made a YouTube video in about a month's time or so. And thought I'd do it now so that way I could connect with you guys and especially the subscribers on YouTube. Not only that, but also our fans on Facebook, on the Facebook page, Stimulus Check Update, and the group on Facebook, and all of our other groups on Facebook too as well. We got about 10 of them between groups and pages. Um, the Periscope, from what I understand, is not working anymore because of, that's Periscope's deal. They decided not to allow any live streaming anymore on Periscope, which kind of sucks because I kind of liked going on Periscope and Twitter and a live stream. So that's unfortunate for a lot of our fans on Periscope and Twitter too, also as well. But it seems like we have 111 people right now who are watching this stream. So if you're in here and you're watching from Facebook or on YouTube or whatever the case is, just go ahead and hit the like button and share this video or live stream also as much as you can as well. So that way more people can benefit from this live stream also. So I guess I'm just gonna give YouTube some time and Facebook for all of our fans and subscribers to join us here in our chat here. So that way, everyone can become a part of this. So I'll probably be going back and forth between YouTube and Facebook here, just in case. I'll open up the chat so that way, in case anyone chats, um, I can easily see it and respond. So what we're talking about tonight is basically the topic is going to be credit, how to build credit, new advances and things that had came out from credit too also as well. And not only that, but also we're going to be talking about real estate because we've been adding that to our channel as a topic too as well. And also we will be talking about stimulus check updates too also. So if you have any questions or whatever those questions may be, just go ahead and type them here in the comment section so that way I can address all your comments appropriately also as well. So I'm gonna be sharing this live stream here all over Facebook, so that way the people in our groups and our pages can they can feel free to join with us too also as well. So that way, no one misses out on this information, that I'm about to share with you guys here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And while I'm doing that, I'll just keep talking, until more people come into the live stream. And also, while we're doing that, if you have any questions too, feel free to, share it here in the live stream while we're on here. So that way you can get an opportunity to get your questions answered also as well. And, we could better help you because no question, I believe, is a dumb question. I don't believe any questions are dumb because that's how you get information. by asking questions. So we have our first question from Brody Larchick. How you doing there, Brody? And Sherry Lynn Miles, welcome to the chat from Facebook. These people are from Facebook, by the way. So if you're watching on YouTube, just want to let you know they're joining the chat here from uh, Facebook. So I'm going to go ahead and jump over into YouTube as well. We have 6 people here joining the live stream from YouTube. So thank you for joining, and feel free to ask questions also as well. Let me just take care of some of these questions right now by putting them on the screen. Brody says, when is the next stimulus payment release date? Okay, so let me go ahead and answer that question first. All right. And I have a lot of data that I can share to answer that question really quick before I move on here. Okay, so basically, let's see what we got here for information on the next stimulus check update. So basically, I say Biden because it was actually a group effort from Congress, which they had passed the American Families Plan earlier. Well, that was announced earlier this spring. And the last plan that was passed through Congress and signed by President Biden um, gave people a stimulus check of $1,400. That was the American Rescue Plan. All righty. So that there has a lot of benefits, not only the $1,400, but also the tax credit of $3,600 for children under 6 years old, and $3,000 per child aged 6 years old through 17 years old, $300 a month for younger kids, and $250 for older ones. That is the other half of the credit too, also as well, which will begin payments starting in July, I believe. So the forced stimulus check has actually, it depends on several factors. If passed, it would probably look similar to the previous checks, but although it's not guaranteed at all, actually, because there's no set date and there's no legislation in motion right now. So we can't say how soon more relief money might arrive in the form of a fourth stimulus check. Okay. Are we getting a fourth stimulus check? Tina Shutt, welcome to the live stream. Well, I just answered that question pretty much. Um, so that would depend. I mean, the legislation would have to be presented to Congress, first of all, to set that ball in motion, and nothing has happened yet. No one is trying to make any vote on a fourth stimulus check. And if so, it would have to be initiated by Chuck Schumer, who is the leader of the Senate Democrats, and the leader of the majority leader in the Senate, and Nancy Pelosi, who is the majority leader in the House of Representatives. So, because nothing has been started, we cannot know when a fourth stimulus check will happen or if it will ever happen. But looking at the stats and the data, pretty much, I can make an assumption here, and that would be based on several factors. When you look at the first, second, and third stimulus checks that were passed previously, we had circumstances which were different to the circumstances that are going on right now. Okay. For number one, the coronavirus cases were high. So let's go look at that, right? First of all. Coronavirus cases, United States. Let's look at that because that's what we're talking about, the United States here. It looks like the cases, well, cases. Let's see if we can get a national number here for coronavirus cases. I'll just put coronavirus cases, US, USA here. Okay. Just type in July 2021. Here we go. Okay. New cases are 253,946. That's the 7-day average. And now they're down to 251,000. Actually, yeah, 251,919 cases. Actually, no, that's not correct. That was for January 12th. And now, as of July 10th, which was yesterday, the 7-day average went down to 18,829. Average of new cases in a 7-day period, and new cases for July 10th were 8,591. So basically, looking at that, I don't see no way Congress is even going to think of passing a stimulus check. So that's one of the factors that Congress would look at passing a stimulus check. Now let's look at the unemployment rate. Okay, for 2021. Okay, so you got to remember the American Rescue Plan, which was passed back earlier this spring, this year, contained a 1,000. Okay, now we have the numbers here for January 2021 through, well, let's get some more recent, I believe. Yeah, let's get some more recent numbers here. Okay. I'm going to statista.com, and that usually gives, pretty accurate statistics. From May 2020 through May 2021. Okay, we're talking about the unemployment rate, which was seasonally adjusted. So that's in a 1-year period. So that's pretty much taking us from the height of the pandemic back in May last year until now, which I believe is the lowest part of the pandemic as it sits. Unemployment rate was 13% back in May 2020, and now the unemployment rate has been cut in half, more than half, to 5.5%. Okay, so there you have it. The unemployment rate has been cut in half. Also, we learned that the coronavirus cases has went down from 251,000 of a 7-week average back in January 2021, way down to 8,000 cases within a 7-day period. So that's a huge cut. That's, a cut of about 90%, 90 to 95% of case. That's how much the cases went down. And Congress looks at that when they consider passing another stimulus check. So right now they're pretty much saying, they're not saying no stimulus check at all. Okay, but what they are saying is nothing at all. And they're more focused on this infrastructure bill that they plan on passing. Okay, so now let's see another message here from Teresa Franklin. Welcome to the chat. Says Teresa says, "What are you talking about? We've already received stimulus checks. Is past tense. It's a for the income tax for kids, which does nothing for the." Well, if you want to know what I'm talking about, listen to the live stream. Read the title of the live stream. Okay, it's an update. Okay, meaning updating everybody on what's going on. Okay, that's the purpose of the video because not everyone knows is fully aware of what's going on right now with that. Okay, and so if you want to know what I'm talking about, read the title, please. We're talking about one, building credit; two, a stimulus check update so people know what's going on right now currently; and three, real estate. Okay, those three topics is what we're talking about today. So, but yeah, they do have an tax credit for children, and I went over that too earlier. I did talk about that. So thank you for your comment. Appreciate that, Janet Buckler. How you doing? Thank you for joining. And Sherry says that she's from Kentucky. Yeah, welcome Kentucky. So where are you guys from? Let me know in the comments too where you're from. So that way I could recognize you and also, other people can know where you're from. No such thing as a stupid question, just stupid people. Eric said that. Okay, Eric, I got you. Hey, you could be right, That's a good way of putting it, right? Um Colin says, are these checks coming from the Treasury Department? What checks? As far as we know, there is no fourth stimulus check. Okay. If you're talking about the checks for the children tax credit, I believe so. They should be coming from the Treasury Department or the IRS. Okay. Um, okay. Shay's talking to Teresa Franklin. Okay. Good, good. Nice looking, nice emoji there. Let's see if we can show this emoji. No, we can't show emojis here in the chat, but you can show them on Facebook though. Jennifer Pinkston, welcome to the chat, says it's a tax credit, not stimulus check. Yeah, exactly. It's a tax credit, people. We said that before in the beginning of when we started the topic. And Tanya, okay. Shay says, I don't think there's a fourth one. You're right. I don't think there's a fourth one coming either. I'm going to have to agree with that statement. But we could be wrong. Who knows? Okay, it's a child credit. Okay, yep, that's when they're sending it out, July. What about Social Security and SDI? Okay, good question. Social Security and SDI, Social Security and SSDI. Update. Okay, let's see if there's an update here for Social Security and SDI. Okay. So as of, I do have some sort of update here. I believe Joe Biden had promised a $200 Social Security increase. Um, but I don't think he's made good on that promise yet, as far as I know. Okay. Um, that would have been nice though, because that would have helped out a lot of people. Okay, but I'm not sure exactly. Are you talking about what Biden plans on doing for Social Security, or just the stimulus checks for Social Security and SSDI? And if you like, there is a website for the IRS and the Get My Payment tool, which you guys a lot of are familiar with that already. So, but check that and check some of the tools and resources they have there. Should be of good help to you also. Okay, next comment. Sherry says on the EBT website says July 15th. they'll be sending out the tax credit for the kids. Okay, so some people are saying July 14th. Some people are saying, like Sherry saying, July 15th. I don't know who's right, who's wrong, but we're both kind of right because it's either going to be July 14th or July 15th. Okay. I think Sherry just answered that question, Judy. So just look back at Sherry's comment. I think she said July 15th, and she said the information is on the EBT website. Wow, seems like I have a lot of tabs open on my computer, so I gotta close out some of that. EBT. Let me see if I can pull it up for you guys. Child tax credit. I'm just gonna go straight to the EBT. Okay. All right. So I have some information here on the IRS website. Let's see, does it give a date when these payments are gonna go out? I don't think it gives a date on the IRS website. Hold on. Let's see. There's another link here. Yeah, it does. It does actually. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to share this page in the group so that you guys can see the information on the child tax credit and when that's going to come out. All right, because that's good for you guys to know. Let's see it. Okay, so if you can see my screen clearly, just go ahead and type the number 1 inside of the comments for me. That way I know that you guys could see it clearly enough. All right, so this is an accurate information on the child tax credit. So I guess one of you guys said July 15th, right? I believe that was Sherry. Yep, Sherry said July 15th on the EBT website, she said. But I haven't found the EBT website, but I have found the IRS website, and you should see it on your screen there. And it's talking about publication 5534-A 6-2021, which says the 2021 advanced child tax credit, the payments start July 15, 2021. Eligible families can receive advanced payments of up to $300 per month for each child under age 6. So I guess under age 6 years old is going to be up to $300 a month, and up to $250 per month for each child 6 and above. Payments begin July 15th, will be sent out monthly through December 15th without any further action required. You can benefit from the credit even if you don't have earned income or don't owe any income taxes, as said. The credit includes children who turn age 17 in 2021. So if you filed already your tax return, you do not need to take any action now if you have already filed a 2020 tax return. If you have not filed yet, you want to file your tax return as soon as possible. That's what the IRS is saying. And for people not required to file a tax return and who did not file in 2019 or 2020, visit the special IRS non-filer sign-up tool for more details and quickly register. You may qualify for the child tax credit and economic impact payment. So they have a code thingy for you to scan if you're on a mobile phone. So hope that information helped out a lot of people. And so thank you, Charlotte, for typing number 1. I appreciate that, Charlotte. Charlotte Johnson, welcome to the chat also as well. So I guess Sherry was right. You're right, Sherry. It starts July 15th, although I did not find that information on the EBT website. I found it on the IRS website on that one publication that I shared on the screen. So that answers your question, Judy. The payments start July 15th. I don't know exactly the mail date, okay, when they're going to get mailed out, but I'll keep monitoring the IRS website so I can get the accurate information for you, because this coming from the IRS is pretty accurate, pretty more accurate than what a lot of people believe that is going on, but don't have accurate actual data. Okay, I have another question from Janet. Janet Buckler, welcome to the chat. Says, but when you have kids over the age of 18, we don't get crap from anyone. So how does that help us? Right, right. How does that help you? It does not help you. It doesn't help you at all. In a way, it does help you, because if your child is over the age of 18 and your child has children that are, say, if your child has children that are 17 years or younger, I mean, you being a grandma, I mean, your daughter or son may not share any of that money with you, but it could help you out, because they're getting some money to help them with their kids. So it could be easing the pressure off of you being the grandma or the granddad. You know what I mean? So in a way, that could help you out. To answer your question there, Janet. Shay, welcome to the chat from Facebook. Says, for the people that keep saying, what about free money stimulus for people without kids? That this ain't free money. This is the child tax credit money that people would normally get at tax time. It's just an option for getting some of it up front. Okay, good comment. Do you have any information on that? Any data? I'd like to see some data on what you're saying, if that is actually what people would normally get. Because normally, with the Trump child tax credit, it was only, I believe, like $2,000. It was nowhere near 3,000 or 3,600. So, as far as I know, that is not what you would normally get. What you would normally get without the new American Rescue Plan that was passed through Congress and signed by Joe Biden, you would normally get only 2,000. But now, with the new bill that was signed by Joe Biden, now you get up to 3,600, which you get a lot more than what you got with Trump before. So I don't think that statement is accurate, Shay. You definitely want to go ahead and do your research before you start making statements. But I appreciate your comment. Janet Buckler says, my taxes have nothing to do with this stimulus child emergency funds. Okay. Well, no one said anything about your taxes, right? Well, except the IRS. They have a statement up on the website, and that's pretty accurate, Janet. That's on the IRS website. Okay. So if you like, you can argue with the IRS if you want about that point. Um, you know, because they know better than what I know, because they're the ones who actually get the Treasury Department to send out those checks, not me. Okay. Chris Mueller says they should take care of us disabled people that can barely live on the little amount they pay on SSDI. Yeah, I agree. Lewis, welcome to the chat. Lewis, you got to stop making up all these different YouTube channels, man. Just stick with the old YouTube channel and stop changing and making up new channels. Stick with one channel, okay, and grow it into something that means something. You know what I mean? Um, that's my advice to you, bro. I keep seeing all these different YouTube channels, and all you doing is you confusing me, bro. You confusing me, confusing everybody else. So just stick with one YouTube channel, okay, bro? I appreciate you, everybody. He has a YouTube channel. He's a DJ. He has a lot of guests and artists, musical artists come on his channel. So definitely, if you're interested in that, subscribe to his channel, give us videos a thumbs up and everything. Show the brother some love. All right. John Stevens, welcome, is replying to Shay. Say, if you know the whole story, it's increased child tax credit. Yeah, exactly. Like I said before, what you would normally get would believe would be only the 2,000 that was approved through under Trump, right? when he was president before, but now you get 3,000 up to 3,600. You get a lot more money now under Biden. Okay. Um, Good question. If I close my bank account, how am I going to get the child tax credit? Well, the IRS, they have a website. Just go on the IRS website, look through the links. If you close your bank account, let's actually, you know what? Let me go on the IRS website while I'm here and see if they have any frequently asked questions to answer that question. If you closed your bank account, that's the question. Let me see. Let's see, because most likely someone had already answered that question somewhere on the website. Hmm. Must have something to do with enrolling. Yeah, let's go on the website together, guys. Okay, why don't we do that? Because Hafty, that's a good question. I'm glad you brought that up too, because a lot of other people would like to know. I mean, we have like almost 100,000 fans in our Facebook page, the stimulus check update. So I'm sure we have a lot of people here watching in the live stream. We have 47 right now, but we had over 120 before. It just keeps going in and out. Like people keep coming in and out of the chat here. But let's see what we got here. We got general information, eligibility for the advanced child tax credit. What else? Calculation, advanced payment process, updating your child tax credit information, receiving the payments. Okay, there we go. I think that's the issue. We can probably find our answer to your question here. What can I do if I think the amount is incorrect for a month? Okay, that's not what we want. Is it subject to garnish? If I file my tax return and I don't live in the US, okay. What do I need to do to get advanced payments? Let's see. See, they seem like they're going to use your 2019 or 2020 tax return, it says here, or information you entered into the non-filer tool on irs.gov in 2020 to register for economic impact payments to determine if you qualify and automatically enroll you. You do not need to take any additional action. If you did not file your taxes this year or last year, you did not register for economic impact payments, which means stimulus checks last year, you can still sign up for the child tax credit payments using the non-filer sign-up tool. So let's go look at that non-filer sign-up tool. And let's see what that says here. Do I want to participate in a survey? No, thanks. Not right now. Let's see. Okay, you can use this tool here, the non-filer tool for child tax credit, to report your qualifying children born before 2020-21. If you are not required to file a tax return for 2020 and didn't file one and don't plan to, and you have a main home in the United States for more than 6 months, right? Also, if you did not get full amounts of first and second stimulus check, then you can use this tool. If you are not required to file a tax return, didn't file or don't plan to, want to claim 2020 recovery rebate credit and get your third stimulus check, but you cannot use the tool if you filed or plan to file a 2020 tax return or claimed all your dependents on your 2019 tax return, including by reporting the information in 2020 using the non-filers enter payment information tool, or were married at the end of 2020 unless you use the tool with your spouse and include your spouse's information, or you are a resident of a U.S. territory, or do not have a main home in the United States for more than 6 months. If you're married, your spouse does not have a main home in the United States for more than 6 months, or do not have a qualifying child who was born before 2021 and had a social security number issued before May 17, 2021. Okay, and there's the link. You'll need your full name, current mailing address, email address, date of birth, valid social security numbers or other taxpayer IDs for you and your children or dependents. You need your bank account number, type and routing number if you have one, identity protection personal identification number if you received that from the IRS earlier this year if you have one. So, and then there's the link on the bottom to use the non-filers tool. Okay. So I hope that helped. So your question you have to, if you close your bank account, how are you going to get the child tax credit? That's going to be kind of tough. You know what I mean? If you close the account, because it's saying there you can enter your bank account information, what kind of bank account it is, your routing number, your account number there. So if you close down the account before they send uh, the payment out, then that's not going to help you at all. Most likely, what I believe is the payment would go back to the IRS, and then they would have to issue you out a check by mail, considering that you gave them the correct mailing address or you did not move or change your address. And they have a way of contacting you. Because if they don't have a way to contact you, then they can't get the check to you. Okay, so I hope that helped. Greggy calling from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Welcome, Greg, to the chat. Thanks for joining. Rogers we got South Carolina in the house. Roger, welcome, Roger. Willie, Vicky West from Mississippi. Thank you for joining, Willie from Mississippi. Brody's from the what's that? Good old homegrown corn-fed state of Nebraska. Okay, that's pretty close to me. I'm in South Dakota. It's not too far from Nebraska at all. Welcome, Brody. Thanks for joining. Charlotte says Kentucky over here. What about if you have a grandchild and I'm on disability? So will I get it? Yeah. Let's see. If you have a grandchild and that grandchild is your dependent, yes. So because this is for dependents, all right? But if someone else listed them as a dependent on the tax return, then I don't believe you're going to get that, okay? So you would have to listed them as a dependent on your tax return. Why haven't we, or on the form on the IRS website, okay, where I just went over the child tax credit information. You'd have to enter the correct information on there. Right? Why haven't we gotten our federal tax refunds yet? Wow, that you guys are asking some great questions. Let's see. Let's check it out. Let's see what the IRS has said. Yeah, good question there. Let's see. What do we got? All right. All right. Here's an article here. Found one here from USA Today. Okay, why don't I'm going to share this on the screen so that way you guys see exactly what I'm getting all this information from. All right. There we go. So if you can see the screen clear, go ahead and type the number 1 inside the comments for me so that way we all know that there's no problem with the video. There's a problem with the audio. If the audio is good, by the way, just let me know. Oh, YouTube, JP Frag says, Lyndon, what's going on, my guy? Yeah, how you doing there, JP? Good to see you. Welcome to the chat. We're just going over some stimulus check update information here, and then we're also talking about credit and real estate too, also as well. But since a lot of people have been asking questions about and child tax credit, we're dealing with it right now. So, okay, hope you guys can see the screen there. So what this is they're coming from YouTube Finance, okay, saying millions of tax refunds are missing, and that could delay child tax credit payments. All right. A lot of people are frustrated, they say here. So the question is why? Why the income tax, why the tax refunds are missing? So let's see if they answer that question here. Okay. Okay, the IRS said tax returns processed by June 28th will be reflected in the first batch of monthly payments for the advanced child tax credit scheduled for July 15th. But if you haven't received it yet, then there could be a delay. But if it was just processed by June 28th, then you got to give them a few weeks, give or take, pretty much. So it says if you filed at this year's deadline on May 17th, you'd that refund by mid-June or earlier. Okay, so still not answering that question. Okay, here's the answer to the question. The IRS had a massive backlog of 35.3 million individual and business income tax returns that were filed but not processed by the end of 2021 filing season, according to the June 30th report by Aaron Collins and the National Taxpayer Advocate. That's about 4 times what remained unprocessed at the end of the 2019 filing season. Wow. So they're really behind. The 35 million people wasn't processed. But it does say every tax filer is not owed a refund, but millions are waiting on big money. Okay, IRS processed 136 million income tax returns for individuals and gave out 96 million refunds, $270 billion during the 2021 filing season. Says the IRS needed to change its systems and recalculate unemployment insurance benefits and the advanced premium tax credit involving health insurance after tax legislation was enacted in March during the final filing season. So it seems like they have all this extra work and, not more people or more staff to do the work from what they're saying here. So I think they gave a few answers to that question. So hopefully that helped out somewhat there, Clyde. That's some of the answers to why you have not received your federal tax refunds yet. All right, I need to answer this. Got a call from Jerry. Oh, okay. So that's you, Jakari. Sure, no problem, Jakari. Okay, Jakari is one of our loyal subscribers there for a long time, a veteran actually. Yeah, I will call you, Jakari, soon. I'm just trying to get through the stimulus check update topic real quick, and then hopefully someone has a question about credit or real estate. Because if you missed the video, we did make a live stream about how to buy your first house with no money down. If you didn't see that video, definitely go ahead on the channel on YouTube and check that out for sure. Okay, thanks again, Charlotte, for letting us know the video's coming out clear. Okay, let's see what else we got. Some more information coming from Crystal Craig, and welcome to the chat, Crystal. Crystal says they're getting $1,000 to $2,000 in food stamps per month. Started that already here in over there in Missouri. If you have kids that's home for the summer, so the parents can feed their children, and that's a good thing that Missouri is doing. There's a lot of states that they can do their own thing. You know what I mean? South Dakota or my state, they're not really doing anything about that. They're actually turning people down for unemployment, especially the coronavirus unemployment aid that's coming from the American Rescue Plan, which is the extra $300 a month. They're one of the 24 or 25 states that have ended that as of last month. But there are, I believe, 24 or 25 other states in the U.S. that still are giving out the extra unemployment money. Okay, so where are we at? Becky Davis says, "What if we got taxes direct deposit? Will we get a direct deposit? Or you should get it direct deposit, Becky, because that's what they have for you in their system. As far as a way to pay you, you know. So you just want to make sure that you update your information. Yeah, your information is updated with the IRS. Okay, because if it's not, see, that's going to be an issue with you getting your payments, whether it be your child tax credit that you're waiting for, or your other credits, or your third stimulus check if you still haven't gotten that, or your second stimulus check, or your first stimulus check. Well, believe it or not, there's a lot of people who have not even received those yet. Okay, there is another credit too, also as well, where they give you credit for childcare. Is, I believe it's called childcare tax credit. So if a lot of people, if you don't know about that benefit, you're also entitled to that also as well. And how that works is reimburse you the first $4,000 of any childcare or daycare babysitting that you had paid for during the coronavirus pandemic. So if you didn't know about that, now you know, right? If you have a question about that, feel free to ask here in the comments, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you are at, and I will pull up the information, the data for you, and we'll go into a few details about it. Okay. Jewel says, "Is this not for people on Social Security?" No, it is also for people on Social Security as well. Okay, whether you have a job or you don't have a job, or you're on Social Security or SSDI, whatever, or you never worked in your life, it doesn't matter. Okay, because you are still just like you were entitled to the stimulus checks before, the first, the second, and the third one. You are also entitled to the child tax credits also as well. Okay, and why that is, that's because they have the non-filers tool on the irs.gov website. We had went over that a few minutes ago here in this live stream. So like I was saying before, that's where, people, whoever you are, okay, whether you have a job or not a job, or no job at all, I should say. Okay. Oh wow. Okay, Jewel Donaldson. I'm not sure I'm gonna show that comment. I'm not gonna talk about any uncontrolled illegal substances or what have you. Not here, anyways. You are leaving me messages there in the stimulus check update group, and I appreciate your messages. I'll try to get back to you. Um, you can private message me; it's not a problem. Um, I will answer as soon as I can. So, those of you who are private messaging me on our Facebook pages um, or groups, I will respond as soon as I can. Right now, we're doing a live stream, so we can't really get reply to your messages right now. But I'm sure if you watch this live stream, it has a lot of that information that you're already asking questions about. And if you watch this live stream, I'm sure much of your questions will be answered also. So feel free to ask away. I mean, that's what I'm here for. And I took the time out tonight to sit here and answer questions. As you guys can see, the background behind me is a lot different from the background that we had before, right? In our last video, in our previous videos also. And that is because I bought a new house, which if you want the details about the new house I bought and how you can buy a house with no money down, just go ahead and watch the last video. Simple as that. Okay. You don't want to miss out on valuable information. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're on Facebook, make sure you go over to the YouTube channel and subscribe. Okay. Let's see. We got a more live on the I'm live on our page and group. So join and get your questions. I just had to let somebody know that yeah, we're doing a live stream right now. Getting a lot of private messages on the Facebook page. So yeah, if you're over there, like I said, just cross over here to YouTube, to the YouTube channel, and you know, participate in this live stream so that way it's answered and make some comments. But people try to keep the comments into the topic into that we're talking about tonight. Our topics are, and here's the three, right? Credit, anything to do with credit, or real estate, or the stimulus check update. Okay. So if it has anything to do with those three things, go ahead and comment. I'll speak on it. I'll answer a question or two, as many as you guys topic. Just be aware I'm not going to answer any of those or recognize those comments. Okay. Okay, let's see. What do we got here? Huh. Reply. Okay. Okay, this is okay, somebody's replying to Jewel. Okay, so we have another conversation. I kind of like that these conversations are going on back and forth. That's pretty cool. You know what I mean? And everybody, please say hello. This is the guy I was talking about before who, been a subscriber on YouTube, on a YouTube channel for a long time. Let's see. Claudia says she just hopped on. How you doing, Claudia from Facebook? She says she didn't read. She just hopped on. Is there another one for single people, not the child tax one? For single people without children or dependents? That I don't know. I don't know. For another one, you talking about a stimulus check? No, there's no stimulus check. There's no fourth stimulus check right now. We only have three. And if you didn't get all three, then you need to let the IRS know that you haven't received them, so that way you can get whichever ones that you missed. Okay. Okay, Missy. Missy says, I never got anything for a stimulus check. Oh, you didn't, huh? Okay. So yeah, stimulus check at all. Meaning you did not first stimulus check, your second stimulus check, or your third stimulus check, then that really can be a problem, right? If that is the case, then you need to definitely let the IRS know. The IRS has a website now with a lot more information and help there on the website. A lot of answers to a lot of these questions that you guys are bringing up. So you just want to go over to the IRS website. But while I'm here, let me go ahead and find you an answer there. Let's see. Let's do that right now. Huh. Wow, there's a lot of information here. I'm trying to see which one should I go to, but let's click on the top one because usually the top one has the most information. No, let's not do that because let's get some more up-to-date information here. January, April 5th, June 2021. Newsweek. Yeah, Newsweek's pretty good. Okay. Let's see, are they going to show me a full article or do I have to subscribe? Okay, I hope I don't have to subscribe to anything because I want to see all of the information that I need to get to here. But yeah, let's go over that. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and share that with you guys real quick. Okay, so this article's or how to get, if you haven't gotten your stimulus checks, if you still receive any payments, right? And they're talking about Congress there, how much money the stimulus check is, and how to be eligible. Not everyone qualifies for it. And it says if your previous IRS tax filings show you a single person who makes over $1,000 a year, or you're ahead of $112,500, you're a married couple who jointly reports over $150,000 a year, then you don't qualify. Okay. And some are also ineligible due to age and dependent status as well. Okay, so I guess basically what they're also saying here, because of age and status, that might disqualify you. So if you claim it as a dependent on the tax returns previously, you were 17 years old or older on January 1st, 2020, then you're not eligible for the first two stimulus checks according to CNBC, but you may be eligible for the large stimulus check. Right? And the IRS and Social Security Administration, they also said that people may not have received stimulus checks because they did not file their 2020 taxes. So that's why they filed for 2019 and 2020, even if required to file, because in order to ensure that all eligible people receive their stimulus check payments. And now the IRS also withholds payments from non-filers, change level or the number of claim dependents. So by the way, if you could just clearly on the screen, just go ahead and type the number 1 for me. Okay. Is showing right on the screen. So if anything like your address change, your income, or the number of the dependents that you're claiming changed, the IRS would withhold your stimulus check payments. Okay. And it also asks people to file 2020 taxes, so that way they could know for other tax credits as well. So that's why they're asking you guys to file your tax returns. I mean, even if you have never worked in your life, I mean, they just want basic. They want all the to just give you a stimulus check or 2 or 3 stimulus checks, and you also are eligible for child tax credits or child care tax credits, or something else. And come to find out that they have to, turn around and give you the child tax, those other credits later on, when they could have just done it all in one time. You know what I mean? If you had given, you have to give them this information because they're the ones sending out the stimulus to Treasury Department. Okay. It's in, which kind of makes sense to me also because for one, you have all different benefits. You got the child tax credit, the child care tax credit, the earned income tax credit. You have the 3 stimulus checks too also. So you don't want to miss out on any of that stuff. Okay. So make sure the IRS have your correct information on file. All right. So it also says you could qualify for a top off or a plus up stimulus payment if your 2020 tax filing shows that your income had dropped or your family size increased or the number of your dependents had increased since 2019. And the IRS sent out numerous payments like that, the top off and plus off, which is kind of like larger amounts, I believe, um, to people who receive less. If you receive less stimulus less of a stimulus payment than you were supposed to get, in other words, is what they're saying. Okay. So again, you want to file. Okay. So that way you can get it either in a recovery rebate credit form or either way, you just get it. Even if you owe the IRS money, you should still receive your stimulus checks or the recovery rebate. And the IRS is saying that they will not withhold those funds. But the IRS said they can seize money from the first or second stimulus checks if they overpaid you any federal benefits, including federal unemployment benefits. So you got to watch out for that. Okay. But that's really not under your control, though. I mean, if they overpaid you, that's an error on their part, but they still want to make sure that everyone receives the correct amount, though. And that's what you should be worried about too. You should be making sure that you receive the correct amount also as well. Okay. Uh let's see. Got a new comment from Diana Jackson. Welcome to the chat. Uh Diana says, let's see what Diana's talking about here. I did not work last year in 2020, but got the stimulus check that was issued to me, all 3 stimulus checks. So question is, I claim my grandson so I can get the 4th tax credit that they're talking about. Okay. Question. I don't see a question there, but I'm assuming it's a question. So, Diana, if you had claimed your grandson on your tax returns, then yeah, you should get money for the child tax credit for your grandson then. As long as you meet the requirements, your grandson meets the requirements, which are your grandson is 17 years old or younger. Um, as long as he meets those requirements, then fine. You should get it. Also, you should also meet the requirements of the stimulus check, which is they're going by the last stimulus check requirements, the third one, which is basically if you're a single person, you make no more than $75,000 a year. If you're a married person, between you and your husband together, you guys make no more than $150,000 a year. And if you are claiming the head of household, that you make, let me get up in my chair a little bit here, that you make no more than $1,000 a year plus $500. Okay. So that's the requirements, right? If you meet all those requirements, then you're good to go. You should get the child tax credit. Okay. So the way I understand it, that the child tax credit works, there, Diana, is that they cut it in half, right? They split it in half, the entire payment. The entire full payment is, I believe, $3,600, like for a whole for the entire year's worth of payments. Um, but what they did was they given one payment up front, one big payment, which is half of it, right, up front, and the other half, I believe, starts on July 15th. Yeah, it does. It starts on July 15th, which is only 4 days from now, I believe. Right. So how they gonna start sending that out? I don't know. All I can say is some of it will be by mail, some of it will be by direct deposit. But it's gonna start on July 15th. That's what the IRS said on their website. Okay, so at least let me see. Did I leave any other requirements out? Well, you'd have to, one, claim your grandson on your tax returns, or two, claim your grandson on the IRS website there, to enter in your information for your dependents and claim it there. You can claim it there, on the IRS website for your child tax credits. Okay, so if I left anything else out that would disqualify you, please, people, you're in the chat too, in the live stream with us. Definitely, let me know if I left anything out. Okay, Jackie, welcome from Facebook. Jackie Dressler says we need them. I'm struggling bad. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of people struggling there, Jackie. A lot of people need them. You know, things are getting better from what they're saying. On the news. Uh, According to a lot of the Republicans, they saying things are getting better and there's no need for another stimulus check. And the Democrats are not even talking about another stimulus check. So where does that leave a lot of people who really need a stimulus check? Leaves you guys out there pretty much in the cold, you know. So there's going to be a lot of things going on, like for example, um, the mortgage forbearance, which a lot of homeowners have been receiving, is going to be ending soon. Believe this month or next month. No, it's going to be, and sometime in August is going to end because it ended in June, but they extended it for another month. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mae had extended it, especially for federally backed mortgage loans. Um, so that gives a lot of homeowners who are on the mortgage forbearances an extra month to start beginning making their mortgage payments that they were behind on because of the pandemic. Also, other changes is going to be the eviction moratoriums are going to be devastating to millions of households, um, if they do not extend that as well. Okay, because the eviction moratorium is scheduled to expire. Let's see. Let me make sure I'm giving you the accurate information. When does the eviction moratorium end? Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay, so this is coming from the CDC, which had started the eviction moratorium. So I'm going to go ahead and share that information here on the screen for you guys so you can see this information, because if that is affecting you or your household, it's really important that you see this stuff. So if you can see my screen clearly and what I'm sharing here, just go ahead and type the number 1 inside of the comments for me. Okay. This is coming from the CDC's website, cdc.gov. Which the CDC director had extended the eviction moratorium for 30 days. And this was dated June 24th. Says CDC director Dr. Rochelle Walensky has signed an extension to the eviction moratorium, further preventing the eviction of tenants who are rental payments. So basically, if you're not able to make your rent payments for your apartment because of coronavirus, then you have an out. The CDC has an eviction moratorium. It's been going on for a while, and they have signed an extension to extend it to the end of this month, July 31st. It was already scheduled previously to expire last month on June 21st. So it's now extended to July 31st of this month. But here's the kicker: it is intended to be the final extension of the moratorium. So guys, if you're in a situation, right, where you don't have a job or you don't make enough money from your benefits, or you just in a bad situation where you have a job but you don't have enough money to pay your rent because your hours have been cut on your job, or whatever your financial situation may have changed since coronavirus, just keep in mind that the eviction moratorium is scheduled to end this month on the 31st. And according to the director of the CDC, this is the final extension. They don't plan on extending it any longer, but it can be extended. However, if Joe Biden decides to extend it more by signing an executive order, he has that authority as the president of the United States to extend the eviction moratorium if he chooses to do so. That's his choice. But since we cannot control what Joe Biden does, we can only control what we do. I would consider some alternatives, maybe trying to go out and look for another job, or if you can't find enough hours on your job to pay your rent, maybe you can go and drive for Lyft or Uber, make up some hours there. But you want to make sure your rent is paid, because as of July 31st, these eviction moratoriums will end. And what that means is that landlords are going to be evicting millions of tenants from their apartments. Okay, now does not apply to um, if you're living in a house that you're paying a mortgage for. It doesn't apply to you. Okay, what that, that you're in a different category. Your category would be either mortgage forbearance, that would pretty much be your category, or more mortgage assistance, which the American Rescue Plan, which was signed by President Joe Biden, does supply the states with billions of dollars for mortgage assistance and also rental assistance. So that's another thing I wanted to bring up. If you're having this issue with paying your rent for your apartment, another option or a good alternative for you would be to seek out rental assistance programs within your state. Now, what you can do is you can look for on the state or your state's website. Also, you can also look at charities within your state. I mean, charities what people donate to. You can also look for the local churches in your area or your state, because a lot of the churches, they do donate money to help people pay their rent, right? And the state has rental assistance programs also as well. Some states will pay a lot more money to you to help you with rental assistance also. And another thing you want to keep in mind is that there are also utilities assistance also as well for you. It's available if you need it, right? But the question is, what are the requirements to getting all of this money? Basically, you'd have to talk to your state, because every state has a different program. Every state has a different requirement. Every state gives out a different amount of money in assistance for these programs. So those are some alternatives I just gave you there. There's a lot more, But I think that's enough for now. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to ask. Okay. Missy, welcome to the chat. Missy from Facebook says she filed in February, never heard anything. Okay, yeah. So I answered that question there, Missy, earlier when I talked about the reason why. I think somebody had brought that question up from one of our Facebook groups. Somebody had asked, why is it that he did not get his tax refund? And I answered that there. There's, I believe they said it was 35.3 million people who had filed taxes who have not received a refund, who have not received an answer. Not all of them qualify for a tax return or money, but all of them have not received an answer. And the reason being for that is because the IRS has stacks of, basically what they're saying is they're overworked. The IRS is overworked and they don't have enough staff to complete the work in a timely manner. That's what they're saying, basically, to wrap it up for you in a nutshell. Okay. Diana Jackson from Facebook says, thank you for the information. Yes, you're very welcome, Diana. Glad to be of help any way that I can. Connie Holcomb, welcome to the chat. Connie from Facebook. Connie says, not getting better when everything's going up, but our checks. Yeah, I agree with that. I'm okay. I have my own personal opinion about all of this, about the stimulus checks, and I have my own personal opinion about, inflation and the cost of living, businesses, corporations, jobs, as far as hiring, keeping employees and good workers. This is what I believe. Okay. If Joe Biden and the Democrats, they wanted to give out all these stimulus checks. Okay, let's include Donald Trump in this equation too, because Donald Trump was president when we received the first, when we were issued the first two stimulus checks. Okay, mind you, they were a lot smaller than the stimulus check that Joe Biden gave us, which was 1,400. Okay, but still, I'm gonna include both presidents in the equations, Democrats and Republicans alike, because I'm not taking any sides here. Okay, I'm not taking the Republican side. I'm not taking a Democrat side because I know there's a lot of both parties in our Facebook groups, pages, even here on YouTube on our stimulus um, YouTube channel. But what I am saying is, if they really wanted to solve a problem, what I believe they needed to do is they needed to address both sides of the equation. The two sides of the question that I see is the one side where people needed the stimulus checks, right? To get them by, to pay their bills, and etc. Right? Some people are even saying they need another stimulus check, right? Okay, fine. Give people stimulus checks, no problem, right? It helps the economy, yes. According to the Democrats, they say it helps the economy. People start spending money in Walmart and all these chain stores and grocery stores, even restaurants, etc. Which, when people go to the stores and they spend money, what does it do for the economy? It helps put people back to work. It helps give people more jobs because it gives employers more money to hire more workers by getting more customers to spend money in their store. Okay, that's one side of the equation. Now, the other side of the equation that I'm talking about is, besides the stimulus checks, the extra unemployment money, the child tax credit, the child care credit, the earned income credit, the this, the that, all these benefits, they should also look at the other side of the equation, which is inflation can go up. It is possible. So a lot of those Republicans that are worried about inflation and our children and grandchildren and great grandchildren paying the price for our stimulus check money and our benefits, I'm not saying they're wrong, and then again, I'm not saying they're right. Okay, because I'm not going to live old enough to see what's going to happen to my great grandchildren, right? But um, if they're so worried about that, instead of just sitting on the sidelines and complaining like the Republicans are doing, they should have just took action and done something about it. Put a cap on inflation, and say, well, all right, since these employers and McDonald's and Burger King and Home Depot and Walmart and Lowe's and all of these employers are paying more money, and states are raising the minimum wage to over $15 an hour, and employers and Amazon says $15 an hour, and all of these companies seem like the magic number now is $15 an hour, right? Why don't we put a cap on how much money they can charge in their stores for their products and services? Let's put a limited amount on there so that way they can't get crazy and out of hand. Okay. Also, let's put a cap on rent, how much rent landlords can charge their tenants. So that way, landlords cannot sit back and say, well, okay, you've been working for what, 10 years at McDonald's, and before you're making $7 or $8 an hour, but now you're making what, 15 or $16 an hour? Okay, then I'm going to charge you more rent. I'm raising your rent because I know you have the money to pay it. So now let's put a rent control on that. Let's stop landlords from raising the rents. Now that puts a rent control cap on rent. Okay. Another thing they could do um, also is set a control on gas prices, prices of goods and services, prices of food. Put a cap on that stuff too. So now you have an economy that it can stay at a certain cost of living, all of the states. But here's the problem. Okay, it's a good idea that I have, but there's a problem to implementing it. And that problem is that um, every state may not go along with it. Even if it were to pass through Congress and both Republicans and Democrats agree to it, the states, they can do their own thing and they're allowed to do that. They have their own law, they have their own government, they have their own governors and mayors, and they can choose to follow the federal law or disobey the federal law and do whatever they want to do. Like if the federal government said, well, okay, I don't want you raising any more rent for your tenants, the state can say, you know what, I don't care what you guys say. We're our own state, we're our own government. We're going to do what we want to do in our state. And there's nothing you can do about it. And it's true, there's nothing the federal government can do about it. All they can do is they can stop sending them federal funds, for their different state programs, which will hurt their pockets also. But it's nothing much the federal government can really do. Okay. So that could be a problem with it because an example of that is, with the American Rescue Plan, there was an extra $300 a month put in there, actually $300 a week put in there for people who are on unemployment to receive. So you can get whatever the state gives you every month, plus an additional $300 a month from the American Rescue Plan. But almost over 25 states have discontinued it as of last month. So those states that discontinued it, they pretty much said, well, hey, we don't care what you guys are talking about. The federal government is extra $300 a month, but we're not paying it. So don't send that money over here because we're not going to pay that to our people in our state. Over 25 states said that, and they have their reasons for saying that too, Okay. Um, Tanya says, Tanya from Facebook says, we need another stimulus check. Is that a question or a statement? Are you asking if we need another stimulus check? Or are you making a statement saying that we need another stimulus check? Let me know, Tanya, what exactly do you mean? Missy Park from Facebook says, retired people worked all their lives and get very little on Social Security. Yeah, that's true. And what Joe Biden has promised to give the people on Social Security a raise. Well, he definitely needs to do that like quickly because I'm telling you, if he doesn't follow through on his promises that he made to these people, he's going to lose a lot of voters, a lot of people that voted for him, especially people who are living off of retirement income and Social Security, 401k, even students who have student loan debt, because all these promises he made to these people, and he have not fulfilled none of the promises. He did maybe 5% of the promises that he fulfilled about 5% of the promises that he made. As for the student loan debt forgiveness, he only forgave it for like a few million people and not all the people who have student loan debt. Matter of fact, it was only for people who go to certain colleges and not for everyone who has a student loan debt. When he promised that he would forgive $10,000 of student loan debt, and he didn't say, oh, it's only going to be for people who go to these certain schools. No, he said he's going to forgive $10,000 in student loan debt. That was a promise Joe Biden made in his campaign. While he was campaigning, it was all plastered all over his website. An American Rescue Plan, Build Back Better plan. So if he doesn't follow through, Biden's going to have a problem in 2024 with getting reelected. And I don't blame people if they don't vote for him because he didn't, keep his promises. I really don't blame you guys, because you know what? A good president should keep 90% or 99% of his promises, if not all of his promises. Okay. So I'm not trying to beat up on Joe Biden here. And I'm not trying to beat up on Trump either. But if I'm going to beat up on uh, as both of them equally, not just one and not the other. Okay. Because they both had a lot of faults, and they both um, did not fulfill promises that they made. They both did fulfill some promises that they made, but they both have a lot of promises that they have not fulfilled that they made. Okay, so either way, whether you go with Trump or Biden, you're still going to get promises that are not kept, regardless. You know, it's just a matter of what do you feel is better for your situation right now. Do you feel this situation that's going on right now between February this year and now? You feel like this time period is better than 2019 or 2020? Do you think it's better than 2020? I don't know. Pick one. Now, where are we at? Diana Jackson. Yeah, she says they need to cap the economy so we can survive. Because what costed you is what you're trying to say. What costed you a bottle of water in 2019 will cost you tomorrow. We are living in a world where we are trying to survive. Yeah, we're trying here. And it seemed like every time our wages go up, our cost of livings go up. So it's really like, what did we really gain here? You know what I'm saying? We're still back to where we started before. So yeah, that's kind of my idea. Put a cap on the economy. Just tell the economy, listen, stop raising prices, stop raising rents, stop raising mortgages, stop raising the price of goods and services, keep them the same, and raise wages up. And let's see what happens. Couldn't hurt to try it. Deanna says you need Trump back. Well, everyone's entitled to their opinion, and I respect people who are Trump fans, and I also respect Biden fans just as much because see, our group on Facebook is not about taking one side or the other. Our group is about, the stimulus check update and what we can learn and, information about stimulus checks. So whether you're a Democrat or you're a Republican, it doesn't matter. What matters is did you get your stimulus check and how you're going to get it. That's what matters. That's what's important. So we don't care who's better and who's worse. We really care less about that. Okay, so yeah, if you guys have any other questions, definitely leave it in the live stream for me. Um, because I've been on here for like an hour and 30 minutes, and I'm glad to really speak to you guys. It seems like I don't know where our credit subscribers have gone because they're not here with us asking any questions. They're not here commenting or anything. So they probably don't even know that we're doing a live stream now. So, but I'm still glad for those subscribers, and hopefully should hear from some of them soon. But it was definitely a pleasure speaking with you guys from our stimulus check update page on Facebook and our group on Facebook and our other group called, I believe it's called Political Debates on Facebook. Welcome you guys and thanks for joining. Thank you to all of you guys, especially the ones who were on coming from how to get an 800 credit score, that page and group on Facebook also. Um, I appreciate all of you from, our Facebook pages because that's who've been asking all the questions in the comments here tonight. So I really appreciate that. But just as I spoke too soon, okay, first we're going to address Missy Parks. Says thank you for your help. Yeah, you're very welcome, Missy. If there's any other help you need with questions, that you can ask it in any of our Facebook groups or our page. We got thousands of members there. I believe 12,000, and just our stimulus check update group alone, just that one group, and we have almost 100,000 fans on the Facebook page, and that's just one page. We have so many different pages. So you're very welcome, Missy. We do. Speaking too soon, Timothy Richardson from YouTube. Thank you for leaving a comment there. For our first substantial comment, well, contextual, on topic comment from one of our subscribers who. Yeah, I'm just double checking the comments, so I'm making sure I'm not speaking anything that's incorrect here. Okay, yeah, it's our first actual question from one of our YouTube subscribers. Timothy Richardson says he got a raise at the beginning of the year, 4%. And 1 month later, the insurance increased by 3%. Now I'm in a higher tax bracket and bring home less money. See, that's exactly what I was talking about. Thank you for bringing that up, Timothy. It's exactly what I was talking about earlier when I says if they're going to give out all these stimulus checks and raise people's wages, at McDonald's and Burger King and Home Depot and Lowe's and Amazon and all of these different companies, which that's what they're doing in all these different states now. If people are making more money now than they did, say, last year and the year before, they also need to put a cap on the economy. They need to stop things from happening like what Timothy is mentioning here when he said that his he's in a higher tax bracket because he's bringing home less money because they increased his insurance payments by 3%. You know, and that's what's going to end up happening. Like yeah, maybe you're making $10, and maybe someone was making $10 an hour at McDonald's before, but now they're making 13, 14, or $15 an hour at McDonald's now. But um maybe you're not working as many hours as you were working before. Also, maybe the landlord say, okay, well, now you're making 15 bucks an hour. I'm raising your rent now. So now your rent went up, you know. So all these things is are reasons why there should be a cap on the economy. You know, because if they don't put a cap on the economy, then what progress have we actually made? Okay, we made a little progress for a few months, but then all of a sudden they raise prices, and then we're back to where we were at before. When we, like the people that were making 10 bucks, 8 bucks an hour at McDonald's before 2 years ago, actually, they're back to the way things were at 2 years ago. Because 10 $8 an hour wages, um, using that to pay for um, all the expenses that you were paying for at that time, if it equals what you're paying now, you know, then what progress have you made? Because how much money do you have left in the bank at the end of the day? How much money do you have left after you paid your expenses? Do you have more money left now than you did in 2019? Or do you have less money left over now after you pay your expenses than 2019? So that's a lot of questions we have to ask ourselves. If they all these prices go up, what progress have we really made as far as raising wages? So that really is something that I believe Congress needs to take action on. If you guys feel it's worth a good effort, what we'll do is we'll make a video about it, and make people raise an awareness, so that way we can get our voices heard by Congress, and they can start doing something about that. Because, like I said, what progress have we made? What progress have we really made if prices and the cost of living goes up to match the amount of money that our wages went up? I don't see any progress there. You know, you might just end up in a higher. The only difference is you might just end up in a higher tax bracket and end up having to pay more money in taxes, and end up having less money at the end of the day after you paid your expenses. So I think that's something that is worth looking into. It's worth raising an awareness about. And what we'll do is we'll do a push for people to contact their congressmen and women in the Congress, so we can raise that issue to them to put a cap on the economy. They kind of like that comment that Deanna Jackson had made. I have it up on the screen, and this is so true. You know what I mean? And it needs to happen. Oh, okay, Lewis the Fixer. Okay, I know how you are. I was confusing you with my brother Lewis from Florida. You're Mr. Chocolatazo. That's who you are. Okay. Mr. Chocolatazo, so sorry, bro. I confused you with my brother, my other brother from another mother in Florida, Lewis, because his name is Lewis too. Um, but yeah, I know who you are now. Like, I don't know why I was thinking you were him, because he changes his YouTube channel name, channel so often. But it's a pleasure, Mr. Chocolatazo. Thank you for joining us. I really appreciate that. So I'm going to keep making these live streams like this with you guys. So that way we can touch up on these topics, go over a lot of important information about them. And You just keep in mind, we still talk about credit, building credit, increasing your credit score. We talk about stimulus check updates here and real estate also as well. So I have 210 videos on my YouTube channel. As of today, after this video live stream, it will be exactly 211 videos on this channel. So make sure that you subscribe to this YouTube channel, How to Get an 800 Credit Score LLC. Give this video a thumbs up so that way YouTube could better promote the video. We can invite more people into these future live streams and share more information. If you're on Facebook, give us a like. And also, if you're on Facebook, give us a share this video so that way more people would be able to benefit from the information that we're sharing about these three topics. Well, mainly on our YouTube channel, that's all we talk about. We're either talking about how to build credit or increase your credit score, or we're talking about real estate, or we're talking about stimulus check update information. And Diana Jackson says in 2019, I was making $1,600 every 2 weeks and I was living. Today's world, you'll be lucky to make any kind of money. Yeah, you're right, Diana, especially, with prices going up and rents going up and things like that. I mean, I'm sure you can make $1,600 every 2 weeks nowadays. That's not a lot of money. You know what I mean? A lot of people can make that working at McDonald's, just flipping hamburgers there for, you know, 40 hours a week plus a few hours overtime. Okay. It can be done very easily. It's not a lot of money. But the thing is that now prices are going up. Like Timothy was telling us about his insurance premium prices going up, 3%. So, that's a problem, guys. That's why I said before that I think what needs to happen and what the Republicans are not doing and what Trump has not done and what Joe Biden has not done and what the Democrats have not done, what nobody has done is try to put a cap on the economy. And that's what needs to happen. There needs to be a cap on the economy, okay? Because just like Bernie Sanders was going around talking about there needs to be a $15 an hour minimum wage, which he's been saying for how long? I mean, for years and years and years since he ran for president back in 2015. Okay. And maybe way back before then too. It doesn't matter because you know what? In the next 5 or 10 years, somebody else, just like Bernie Sanders, is just going to jump up and pop up and say, okay, well, now the minimum wage needs to be $25 an hour. But by then, the cost of living will be so high that your $25 an hour will be worth the same as your $15 an hour. So, what progress have you made? I mean, you'd just be backtracking, going backwards because people will end up having less money than they had before after they have paid their expenses. So, it's really not a good thing unless we put a cap on the economy. Like I said, there needs to be somebody up there in Congress that needs to bring up this point and say, listen, okay, enough of the raising the minimum wage, enough of raising prices, enough of, eviction moratoriums and all of this stuff. Why don't we put a cap on the economy? It's fine to do all this other stuff. Sure. Let's give people stimulus checks. Let's give people extra money for unemployment. Let's raise everyone's wages up to $15 an hour and above. But at the same time, let's put a cap on the economy so that way people don't be struggling so much to survive. Okay. So just keep an eye out. If you guys think it's a good idea to put a cap on the economy, let me know inside the comments, because I believe that if there was to put a cap on the economy, it would balance, it would keep things at a certain level. It would keep prices from going up because there's a cap. There would be a law stating you cannot raise your prices over this amount. You cannot raise your rent for your apartments over this amount. You cannot raise your, everything else over whatever amount, but there will be a cap. There'll be a limit on it. So as people's wages increase, prices will not go up. So we need to keep it at a certain level so that way people are able to um, still save money at the end of the day, still have spending money at the end of the day, and still pay all their bills and live a comfortable life. All right. Yeah, that's why we need a cap, Diana. They need to put a cap on the economy. So I think we should push for that. We should push our congressmen to stand up for that. It's all good and gravy to raise the minimum wage, to do all this other stuff, but what about put a cap on the economy, right? Because I mean, what's the sense of having a $1,400 check if it can't, if at one day it will not, it will only be able to buy you a soda? Have you thought of that? That's just unbelievable, right? I think that needs to happen. Yeah, yeah, Diana. Yeah, I agree with that. They should have capped it last year, when they closed the whole world. Yep, they should have. Shannon believes that we need another stimulus check. Shannon from Facebook, thank you for making that comment. So, yeah, I'm going to wrap this live stream up. I've been on for an hour and 46 minutes. So, I got to cook dinner and eat and do laundry and all this other good stuff. So, thank you for watching this live stream. And as always, stay safe, be blessed. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure if you're not already and you're a Facebook person, make sure you join our Facebook groups and pages. And stay safe, be blessed, and we'll see you guys in the next video. But I'm going to have to say goodbye for now. Don't forget to subscribe, though. Give us a thumbs up, okay? And share the video.